Hey there friends, and welcome back to Bunches of Lunches. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Jennifer, and on this channel I love sharing fun lunch inspiration every single week. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the lunches that I made for my kids from Monday through Friday this week. And you guys, I'm making sure to include the what they ate part of the video. That way the kids will have a chance to let us know whether they liked my lunch or not. The lunches this week include a food science lunch, an all things pumpkin lunch, a lunch where I bought all of the food at a furniture store, and I'm also sharing what my school lunches used to be like back in the day. That's right, you guys, a 90s style throwback lunch. Now, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you love fun lunch ideas, and I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Hey guys, and welcome to Meatless Monday. Now for today's lunch and all of the lunches this week, instead of using lunch boxes, I'm going to be using lunch trays since my kids are eating at home, but all of these lunches can easily be packed into lunch boxes and thermoses as well. Now for today's lunch, I'm just about ready to make some Mickey waffles. But this time, instead of making regular waffles, I'm actually making a vegan cornbread waffle. Now you guys, this recipe is actually really easy. There's not that many ingredients, and I'll go ahead and leave a link to it in the description box below if you want to make it yourself. And of course, I think that anything tastes better if it's in a Mickey shape. Now the reason I wanted to make cornbread waffles is to pair them with some delicious black bean chili. Now you guys, if you haven't tried this kind from Amy's, it is seriously good. Even if you're not meat-free and dairy-free, you should try this. It is so good, and it's nice and mild so the kids enjoy it as well. So now to serve this to the kids, I'm going to add some to their bowls. On top of the chili, I'm going to add some non-dairy cheese and some sliced green onion. And then I'm going to nestle these cornbread Mickey waffles right on top. Now for the kids' fruit today, I'm going to be giving them some watermelon, and I thought it would be really fun to cut those into Mickey shapes as well. And then to go along with this, I thought it'd be really tasty to add in some avocado. And now to complete this lunch, I'm also going to give each kid a fruit flavored water with this adorable Mickey topper.
My favorite part of this lunch was the Mickey cornbread.
My favorite was the chili. My favorite was the avocados.
My favorite part was the chili.
Hey guys, so on Tuesday I like to share a nut-free lunch, but the actual theme for today's lunch is going to be the 90s. Now you guys, I was in elementary school in the 90s, and I thought it would be really interesting to show you guys and my kids the types of lunches that I used to have in elementary school. So I'm going to be sharing a cafeteria style lunch and the type of lunch that I used to make myself when I was in school. So since I'm making a cafeteria style lunch first, I thought it'd be really fun to use these more cafeteria style trays. I actually got these at the Dollar Tree and they came in lots of different colors. Now honestly, I didn't buy lunch from the cafeteria that often at school, but when I did, one of my favorite things to get was called Fiestada. Now you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever heard of this before. I'm going to try my best at making a copycat recipe, but I am going to take some shortcuts. Now to make the lunch quick and easy today, instead of using a pizza crust, I'm going to use these already ready to go pita bread. And as you can see, I did go ahead and cut it into the traditional shape. Now for the sauce of the Fiestada, I'm actually going to combine some just regular pizza sauce with about a teaspoon or so of ground cumin. So this is kind of like a taco seasoning that I'm adding in here, but not exactly. I'm just going to mix those two together and then spread them all over our crust. And you guys, I'm making sure to get the sauce all the way to the edges. Now the interesting thing about these little Fiestada pizzas is that there wasn't much to them. They only had a little sprinkling of cheese, not too much, and instead of pepperoni, it had little nuggets of meat. Now I'm not quite sure if this was beef or pork, I don't remember, but I think either one would work. I have some that I already pre-cooked, so I can go ahead and add a little bit to each little pizza, and then all I have to do is pop these into the oven for about 10 minutes or so, or until the cheese is slightly melted. Not all the way, and definitely not browned. So now that the main course is done, there's just a few more things I'm going to add to my tray. At my school cafeteria, I always remember getting fruit cocktail. So this is a combination of peaches and pears and little cherries. And then I honestly can't remember having many green vegetables in my cafeteria at all, but I do remember having corn quite a lot. So I'm adding in some corn. And then of course for the little dessert, they almost always had chocolate pudding. So I'm adding a scoop of that as well. And then at our cafeteria, we had a choice between apple juice or milk, and I almost always picked milk. Okay guys, so that's what a cafeteria lunch was like at my elementary school, but I also wanted to give you an idea of what kind of lunches I would bring from home in the 90s. Now, when I was younger, I remember having one of these really cute pink plastic lunch boxes, but when I got to about 5th or 6th grade, it wasn't really cool to bring lunch boxes like that anymore. Everyone started bringing brown paper bags instead. And by this time, I was in charge of packing my own lunch every day. So when I would pack a lunch, I would always start by writing my name on the front of the paper bag, and I always had to write Jennifer D, because Jennifer was a very popular name when I was in elementary school, and there was always more than one in my classes. So my go-to lunch when I was making it for myself was a PB&J on white bread. Nothing fancy, no cute shapes, nothing like that. And I didn't usually even put it in a Ziploc bag. We had baggies like this that kind of just folded over. Now, to tell you the truth, by lunchtime, my sandwich would usually be soggy and kind of smashed, but it really didn't bother me at the time. Now, to go with my PB&J, I almost always packed a fruit cup as well, but back in the day, they didn't come in a plastic cup like this. They came in a small metal can with a pop top lid. Now at that time, I wasn't super into vegetables. Sometimes I would pack some baby carrots, but that's about it. Maybe just a few, and not every day. Another thing I loved to throw in my lunch were little bags of chips, and my mom almost always bought the cheaper generic brand. I remember sour cream and onion was my favorite. And then not very often, just only on special occasions, I would have a little snack like this. These are Dunkaroos, and they're actually making a comeback in the stores right now. It's basically a little container with tiny cookies and frosting, and you dip the cookies in the frosting. Totally unhealthy, but as a kid, I wasn't really worried about that. And then finally, for my drink, I remember having little plastic drinks like this quite often, and these are the ones where you just kind of twist the top off. Now, usually I would be in a hurry and running late, so I would just throw my lunch in the bag. Things would get smashed. Nothing was kept cold. I just folded up the bag and headed out the door.
My favorite was the pizza.
My favorite part was the pudding. My favorite part was the corn and the pizza.
I liked a chocolate milk drink and a pizza and a pudding.
Now on Wednesdays, I like to make a warm lunch, but the actual theme for today's lunch is going to be pumpkin palooza. I'm going to be including lots of different pumpkin flavored items. Now you guys have to let me know in the comments down below, are you a fan of pumpkin spice or not? For today's main course, we're trying something really new. I found these at Aldi, and they are a pumpkin and sage stuffed ravioli. This is a fresh pasta, so it's not going to take very long to cook, but just check out the bright colors and the stripes on the outside. Now, these are only going to take a few minutes to cook, but while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and get everything else ready. For these pumpkin themed lunches, I'm going to give the kids each some of this pumpkin spice Greek yogurt. I'm not quite sure if they're going to like this flavor, so I'm just going to give each kid a little bit to start off with, and then if they want some more, I'll give them more. And then to go along with the pumpkin spice yogurt, I'm also gonna give them some pumpkin spiced granola. And check it out, you guys, this ravioli is done. I can definitely smell the sage in these, and by the smell of them, I think they're gonna be good. Now for the fruit, I'm gonna give the kids some cantaloupe, which I know technically aren't pumpkin, but they are pumpkin shaped, so I think it counts. Now for the snack slash treat, I have something new for the kids to try. We are huge fans of the Nature's Bakery fig bars, but these ones are the pumpkin spice flavor. And then you guys, to finish our pumpkin themed lunch, I have some pumpkin juice. Now if you are a Harry Potter fan, you'll probably recognize this. I actually picked up this bottle of pumpkin juice at Universal Studios, and I've just been holding on to it for a while. So since this is a pretty big bottle, I'm just gonna give the kids each a little bit to try. Okay guys, who liked the pumpkin ravioli?
I really liked it. Me.
So everybody except for Griffin. But he still ate some of it.
My favorite was the pumpkin ravioli. I like the fig bar.
My favorite part was the ravioli. My favorite part was the yogurt, the granola, and the pumpkin ravioli.
Okay guys, now Thursdays are what I like to call kids takeover day, and that's where I like to get my kids in the kitchen with me, and that's where I teach them how to make their own lunches. But this Thursday is going to be extra special because I'm going to try to turn their lunch into lots of different science projects. I recently found this a really fun book on Amazon, which has some really fun ideas, and we're also going to be doing a couple of experiments that I remember doing when I was a kid. First up is the strawberry jam experiment, and Mackenzie is in charge of this one. Now, if you go to the grocery store and you check out the jelly and jam aisle, you might notice that quite a few of them include some special chemicals that help to thicken the jam. In today's experiment, we're going to see if we can make our own jam with just 2 ingredients and have it still thicken up like regular jam. Now, I picked Mackenzie for this experiment because it requires using a knife, and this is something that I trust her to do safely.
I predict that our jam won't be the exact same as the store-bought jam.
Mackenzie's going to be in charge of cutting the stems off the strawberries and then slicing them in half. Mackenzie's going to add all of the strawberries to our pot, and then using a potato masher, she's going to mash them up.
It smells really, really good.
Next, she's adding 3 cups of sugar, and now she's stirring to combine. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this on the stove over medium heat, and I'm pretty much going to constantly stir this for about 15 to 25 minutes or until it's thickened.
So far I can see that all of the sugar has dissolved, but it's still very thin.
Okay guys, so here's what it looks like after about 20 minutes. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to pour it into some mason jars. Okay guys, now it's time to see how our jam turned out. Oh no, this jam is hard as a rock. This is not going to work. Now normally you can make your own jam by using just strawberries and sugar, and that's because strawberries have pectin in them. And when that pectin combines with sugar and the acids from the strawberries, it will help the jam to thicken up so that it will be just like store-bought jam. But if you cook it too long, I guess this is what happens. So this was definitely a fail, but that's okay. We do have some backup jam. Mackenzie's gonna go ahead and add that to some bread. And then for our next experiment, Lily is going to be making some butter. For this, all you need is some heavy whipping cream and a mason jar. Now we already know that this is going to work. This cream is going to turn into butter. But what we don't know is how long you're going to have to shake it for. How long do you think it's gonna take?
200 hours.
200 hours? I hope not. What do you really think?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, let's try it. Keep shaking.
Come on, we make butter.
Are you shaking it? Are you gonna make butter?
I like butter. And Mommy, my
Yeah?
hands
You're
hurt.
getting tired of doing that? Let's get Lily back.
Really? So far, I've been shaking it for about 6 minutes. It's whipped cream.
You got whipped cream so far. Okay, let's keep, nope, don't eat it. You gotta keep shaking it so it can turn into
Cheese.
butter.
It's been 5 more minutes. It's starting to look like butter.
Yeah, it's really coming together. Okay, keep shaking it. So what we have in here is
Butter.
butter. And what's underneath?
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk. And we can put that in muffins and pancakes, or you can drink it. Now, we could add some salt in here or herbs, but let's just leave it plain, okay? So now that our butter is ready to go, Lily's gonna add that to some slices of bread. And then we're left with some butter and jam sandwiches. For our next experiment, we're going to be comparing apples to oranges, and this experiment is all about density. For this experiment, you're going to need a large glass jar or vase. You're going to need to fill that with water. And then you're going to need different fruits and vegetables. Do you think this orange is going to float or sink?
Float.
You think it's gonna float? Should we find out? Do you think it's gonna float or sink?
Float.
Now, can you very gently add it into the water? Very gently.
I can't.
No, you are doing it.
Drop it.
You got it. Drop it gently.
It floats. It's floating.
Yeah, it is floating.
We were right.
Who was right?
Me and him.
Okay, now carefully take it out. Just put it back in the bowl. Now we're gonna try the same experiment, but this time we're gonna use the orange that is peeled. Do you think it's gonna float or sink? What do you think?
Sink because it's not wrapped.
Because it's not wrapped? Do you think it's gonna float or sink?
Float.
All right, Griffin, put it in very slowly. Let's see.
Float. I was right.
This time, let's try it with an apple. Do we think float or sink?
Float.
Let's try it.
I can't put it in. It's too big.
No, you got it. Is it floating or sinking?
It's floating.
Do you think it's gonna sink or float?
Sink maybe.
Sink maybe? Let's try it.
Sink.
Put it in there gently.
It sinks.
Oh, it does. Cool.
Grab it. Me. Not me.
Grab it out. Okay. Now, Lily, let's try the broccoli and the carrots.
Okay.
Do you think the broccoli and carrots are going to sink or float?
I think they're all gonna float.
I think they're all gonna float. Let's try it. Let's do them both at the same time.
Okay, broccoli and carrot. This one has another one.
Okay, drop them in.
A carrot sinks and a broccoli floats.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Maybe because the broccoli has all of these little floaties attached to it. And this one doesn't have any floaties. So it sinks.
Now the avocado sank while everything else floated because the avocado has a higher density. And for the veggies, the carrot sank while the broccoli floated, and that's because the carrot has a higher density too. Our next experiment is called Popcorn Predictions. Now you guys, popcorn is such a fun snack. And it's kind of amazing too. You just take a tiny little kernel, heat it up, and it will explode. In this experiment, I'm going to take just half a cup of popcorn kernels, and the kids are going to predict what the change in volume is going to be once they've popped.
A lot.
Like 1 bowl, 2 bowls, half a bowl?
Probably 1 full little bowl. With this many kernels, you got all this popcorn.
And last but not least, Jackson is going to do our last experiment, and this is again about densities, but this time we're looking at 3 different liquids.
For this experiment, we're using bubbly water, some already prepared fruit smoothie, and some apple juice. I'm going to add each of these to some cups so that way we can see which liquid is going to end up at the bottom. Out of the 3 different drinks, I predict that the apple juice is going to be at the bottom.
Now check it out, you guys. Look how these 3 different liquids are separating into different layers. And that's because the liquids that are more dense are settling at the bottom, and the liquids that are less dense are settling at the top.
My favorite part was the sandwich.
I like the sandwiches.
My favorite part was the drink and the sandwich.
My favorite part was the sandwich and the carrots.
Okay guys, now we have finally made it to Friday, which is kind of my wild card day when it comes to lunches. And for today's lunch, I'm actually going to be making almost the entire lunch with food I bought at the furniture store. And that furniture store would be Ikea. Now I call it a furniture store, but Ikea also has a lot of food that you can buy, and we are actually huge fans of the meatballs. Ikea meatballs are pretty famous. They come frozen, but they are fully cooked. And my favorite way to heat them up is in the air fryer. To go along with the meatballs, I'm also going to prepare some really cute pasta, and this comes in little mousse shape, so it's really cute. I'm just going to cook this according to the directions on the box, and then once they're drained, I'm going to pour on a little bit of store-bought Alfredo sauce. This lunch is definitely quick and easy. Sometimes I feel like making things from scratch, while other times I like to take some shortcuts. So to the trays, I'm adding the pasta with the Alfredo sauce. I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese. Next, I'll add the meatballs. And then for the fruit and veggie, those didn't technically come from Ikea because they don't sell fresh fruits and veggies. I'm just going to add some mango chunks and some cucumber slices. Oh yes, and I'm not going to forget the ranch. And now for the sweet treat, I have something really extra special from Ikea, and I'm honestly not quite sure how to pronounce this. It's basically a cream cake covered in almond paste, and I just love the pink on the outside. But you guys, these are pretty big, so I'm gonna go ahead and slice them in half so the kids can share. And then last but not least, for today's drink, I'm going to give the kids a little lingonberry juice box. Now, if you'd like to see some hot lunch ideas from around the world, definitely check out the video I posted a couple of days ago. It is full of awesome international ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.